Yeah. Look. Check my approach, I'm never doing the most. I coach cold plays, then we doing a toast. I boast, never had to play the field. It's easy to trap, easy to steal, destroy, not too easy to build. Taking care of your kids, now that right there, I swear, definition of real. Lace up your spirit, never run out. Longest night ever ended when she pushed my son out. You bozos, I gotta question your choice. My son first words, Dad, I'm impressed with his voice. How can I stress when I'm blessed and I'm poised? These owl sharpers tripping over they words, mess up the respect for you boys. Dead beats, y'all some throwaways. It seems like your idols grew to have nothing to show today. So we made a show to make older niggas our protege. Hey, it's your lucky day. Follow me, I'm dad as fuck, I think I know the way.
Welcome back to another episode of the Dad AF show. He wants to curse so bad, but it's his show, so he can curse if he wants to.
It's the Dad as fuck show, baby.
So, I guess today is none other than the one, the only, Tiq Milan,
Mr. Milan in the building
himself. So, this particular guest is really dope, you know. This particular guest is really dope. He's a dad, he's young, he's black, he's a social activist. And I mean, he's way doper than anybody that I know. So
way doper than me.
Yeah. So we gonna run into this intro clip, and then you know what I mean. I get to meet the man himself.
What's up, y'all? I'm Tiq Milan. Check me on Instagram at the Mr. Milan. I am a father of one beautiful little girl. I'm a leadership and development coach. I'm a writer. I'm a public speaker. And this is the Dad as Fuck show. Cheers.
Follow me, I'm dad as fuck, I think I know the way.
Hip hop. Pop. Pop, right? Oh, dresses. Yeah. I'm a dandy nigga. I'm a chill sergeant. Pretty chill. I don't even wish. A Lion King or the Aladdin? I ain't seen none of them shits in 20 years. Aladdin, yeah. Really? Oh, Elmo. Does Elmo have any similarities to me? What kind of question is that? Hell no, man. No, I mean, I don't know. We both like to sing and entertain my kids. Maybe that's about it. We entertaining like a motherfucker. My little girl loves that little nigga. Oh, it's Beehive. Malcolm, burn this shit up and just start over again. Fuck the system. Ooh. Brandy can sing better, but Monica is finer. Monica.
So you're doing that on the looks?
Monica.
Brady can sing better, but Monica's fine.
She is.
Follow me, I'm dad as fuck, I think I know the way.
Mr. Milan's in the building.
Yeah.
We
I like
here.
all the applause.
Yes.
That's
Pretty
nice.
good, right?
That's a nice touch.
Yeah, it is.
Making feel welcome.
Thanks, Marv. I appreciate it. Shout out to Marv, by the way.
Shout out to Marv.
Show him love. Show him love. So
Studio.
we're gonna get right into it. Jump right into it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So what I want to know is, how was your childhood growing up with your dad?
How was my childhood growing up?
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I mean, my dad was always around. My parents divorced when I was young, so I was like 3. So he was never in the house. But he used to live around the corner. Matter of fact, he was married to a lady. He was married to a lady around the corner.
Hold on.
You know, I don't know if that had to do.
Hold on. You can
Wait,
slow
you're
down.
speeding right now.
Yeah.
Let's break this down.
Yeah.
You can't
Alright,
just
so-
drop that on us.
so
and
my
you
Live
live
around
right
the corner.
My daddy lived 2 blocks over from me. He was married to this lady named Virginia, who lived a couple blocks over. So, you know.
I mean, what was the transition period from divorce to married and around the corner?
Well, he said he was 3.
I don't know. I was little.
Oh,
I was
okay,
little.
I
I was
got
mad
you.
little.
I got you.
So here's the thing. What's dope about my parents is that even though they were divorced, and I know they went through a lot of bullshit, I'm
Yeah.
sure, they never talked bad about each other.
Awesome.
So,
Dope.
it was never your mother's this, your father's that. And they never, they kept, me out of grown folks' business. So I don't know what transpired really. I get
Yeah.
little snippets now that I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But he was married to a lady around the corner. So that's what my dad was for a long
Yeah.
time growing up.
Miss Virginia.
Miss Virginia.
Virginia.
Didn't mean Avenger.
Okay. So my dad was out the house, but he was always around. You know, my father was always there for me. And, you know, him and my mother actually were really good friends. He would come over for dinner. He would call her and just talk to her. You know, so he was always there. Like, my mother was definitely the primary parent.
Yeah.
You know, but my father was always instrumental in my life. Was always really, really good to me.
It's funny. It just popped in my head. I probably shouldn't say it, but I'm gonna say it. When you threw out, my mom was the primary parent. I feel like we got this thing. We always go right to the mom, like, and give mom those kudos, and they definitely deserve it.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But we was talking the other day. You know, I don't want to get too deep into that, but you know, how do you feel? How do you feel about, you know, wanting appreciation as a dad, or because from what I hear, your dad was a very good dad to you.
Yeah,
he was there, you know, and you feel like you learned from him and he helped you grow. So do you feel like it was like, so if you had to put it on the list from 0 to 100, was it 60-40 mom dad? Was it 70-30 mom dad?
Yeah, it was probably more 70-30.
Okay.
And, you know, and just being honest, because, you know, I live with my mother full time.
Gotcha.
You know, so being a
That makes
full-time
sense.
parent looks different than not being a full-time parent. You know, yeah, so I'll get into my whole story later, but I think that looks really different when you have a parent that's there that's having to take care of all of those everyday needs, emotional needs, the physical needs, the financial needs. You know, I went to one of the best private schools in the city. I grew up in Buffalo, New York. Went to one of the best private schools there. You know, my mother paid $5,000 a year in tuition for me to go there. My father didn't pay a dime of that.
How you know that? How you know he didn't pay a dime?
Because they both told me.
I just wanted to make sure.
You gotta hold on to that.
I'm just really asking because
That's important. But you broke it down so lovely.
so it's like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I watch like a lot of comedy and comedians and stuff, and like Chris Rock, he always has something for the dads in his, you know what I mean, his little spiel or whatever. You know what I mean? And he's always like, you know what I mean, like Father's Day don't mean shit, or like,
I ain't
like,
get shit this
like,
Father's Day.
like unconditional love, like a dad is only as good under the conditions that he
conditions that
provide.
provide something.
So my thing is like, do you feel that as dads, like we need to, you know, really put our voice forward and kind of like get rid of this masculinity thing and kind of.
What was that? Go ahead. So good. Keep it going. We didn't hear that.
So as dads, do you think that we really need to, like, you know what I mean, like put some of our masculinity aside and like kind of openly express it and say, hey, you know, we need some validation
Appreciation
also, and we
validation.
need it to be voiced, like the appreciation for us, because I feel like a lot of dads, they feel underappreciated and they like suffer in silence. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's I think it can get complicated. I think that's true. I think oftentimes, you know, dads don't get a lot of appreciation, don't get a lot of the kudos that we should, particularly if you are like the primary caregiver. So there's a lot of dads out there that are primary caregivers, right?
Yeah.
But there's definitely more mothers that do it.
Yeah.
But you know, on the flip side of that, what I see is, you know, which I'm not into, is, you know, fathers just getting so much praise for just being fathers.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, you bought your baby a new pair of sneakers. You're the dad of the universe. And it's like, come on now. You know, I've seen this play out on social media. I've seen it play out in conversations where you have men who are just doing their due diligence as a father, which you're supposed to do. And it turns out into this, you know, all the pats on the back and all the cookies and all the kudos. But that's not why we do this. You do it because this is what we're supposed to do.
That's so funny that you say that, right?
Yeah.
So it was like this post on social media the other day, and I you know, I analyze things like this. So the post essentially, and I'm definitely gonna like fuck it up because I have a terrible memory, but the overall gist of it, right? It was like a single mother has a child and they're like, oh, that child needs a father, right? And they like beat down a single mother, right? So then the single mother starts to date and they're like, oh, you can't have no strange men around your kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then like, it's like, oh, so a single mother is like, okay, now I'm an independent woman. And they're like, oh yeah, independent woman. Like, what's that about? Like traditionally, like blah, blah, blah. But then the last point was like, a single dad changes a diaper and they're like, oh my God, he's so amazing. Yo, mom, you are killing me. So it was like, take Lou off the board.
Take him off.
So it was like, you know what I mean? And a single dad changed the diaper and they're like, oh, this dad is so amazing.
Yeah.
And I find that kind of fucked up. My thing is like, any involvement or participation that we can get, we should cherish that. And like, if you want to make a point of like single mothers being scrutinized unfairly or like undervalued, I don't think that you should necessarily pit that up against the involvement of a dad, because what you do is you discourage those that want to participate, but you know what I mean, they might
So
have
look,
limited access. Like I feel like you discourage that.
I'm gonna keep it real. Like, you know, me and my wife had a little argument about this because I feel like on one end I hear what you're saying, like you should be doing this. You don't need kudos for it.
Facts.
But as we know, historically, we don't see these images of fathers as much in our communities, you know what I'm saying, of you know, being there and being present, all this type of things. And I think a lot of young fathers are uncomfortable. They don't know what they're doing sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think a pat on the back is just motivation.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that,
yeah.
And that can lead to better parenting. That can lead to a man feeling more encouraged to parent better and be more present. So I think those kudos and those pats on the back is because, you know, young fathers need that, I think.
Yeah.
I think a lot of young fathers need that. I think
I
as a
agree.
mom, as
I
a young
agree.
mom, you get it automatically.
Yeah.
As soon as you become a mom or you're pregnant, the whole world is supporting you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think as a dad,
Sometimes, yeah,
sometimes, of
sometimes.
course, sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
it's not all the time. But I think I don't think there's nothing wrong with that pat on the back. You know.
No, I don't
for
think it
young
is.
fathers.
I don't think it is either. I don't think there's anything wrong with giving people, you know, giving people the flowers so they can still smell them. You know what I'm saying? Giving people the praise that they should get, particularly when they're taking care of their child. But let's not just stop there. Like, you know,
Facts.
that's our obligation as fathers, and we still have to be accountable for the ways in which we may not show up, or how, like, you know, the division of labor between us and the mothers of our children may show up. I think there's a place where we still have to be accountable and still have to take it like above and beyond, take it to
Facts.
another step. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, pat me on my back, all of
Yeah.
that. But like, I would see the shit when I travel with my
But
daughter
don't
by
enable.
myself.
Don't
Yeah,
enable
don't enable it.
to
Don't,
be
don't
like
enable, don't
half-assed.
Right, don't enable mediocrity.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And that's and
Right,
people
right.
will stop at that line. Like, this times I've traveled with my daughter by myself, without my baby's mom, and you know, I'll be in the airport and I'll do, oh, you're such a good dad. Look at you. And I'm like, I am a good dad, but you know,
Not
I'm just doing what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I gotta feed her.
Baby, not even mine.
I don't even fucking know this
I'm a
kid.
good kidnapper.
I don't even know this child. Y'all been patting me on the
God.
back.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? But like, they would do shit like that for me, but they wouldn't do for my
I get what
ex-wife.
you're
You know what I'm saying?
saying.
They wouldn't do for
I
her.
get what
You know
you're
what I'm saying? So I've seen that kind of like that kind of discrepancy, and I think it's because the bar is so low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I think it's
And we on Daddy's Fuck, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Daddy's Fuck, we want to raise that bar.
yeah, we want to raise the bar. I think
So-
it's fathers,
and-
black
and-
fathers raise that bar.
So
Yeah.
my thing is that I acknowledge that the bar is low, right? But I think that you have to commend people for even touching that bar, and then by commending them, you could encourage them to raise the bar higher, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I just feel like people automatically discourage, like, man, that bar is so low, like, fuck your bar. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You ain't doing shit.
Yeah, like, oh, that's
You ain't
that.
doing shit.
That's
You're
it.
doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
man.
So it's like,
Exactly.
damn,
Bare
that shit,
minimum.
like, this shit not impressive,
Yeah.
like, or like, I don't feel, because
Yeah.
you know what, some people, honestly, and I get what you're saying, like you shouldn't really need any validation from just
No,
doing
not
what
to
the
take
fuck.
care of your child.
Yeah.
From what, but
But
in
you
the
can-
world that we live in, right?
Yeah,
like,
but then you say you need it for what? So you're not getting those kudos. You're not getting the pat on the back.
You're
Everybody
gonna
telling you
not-
how low the bar is. So now you're not gonna take care of your
Exactly,
kid.
that's
So
a
now
good
you
point.
a fuck nigga now.
Yeah.
So now you don't take care of your kid.
But
Because
that's-
ain't nobody recognizing you.
But it's
taking
the
care of
thing,
the kids
right?
you raised.
So the difference between and this is how I feel as a dad, like the thin line between a fuck nigga and a stand up nigga might be one compliment.
It can be- I
That's
guess.
the
And it could
place
be
I'm
that-
coming from, though.
I mean, but this is what I'm saying. Like, it could really be that deep. Like, acknowledgement could be the difference.
Yeah, but that's kind of fucked up. If you
It's dangerous.
It's
But that
dangerous.
should be,
Yes,
It is
yeah.
dangerous.
If acknowledgement, if that's the litmus test, like I'm not
Yeah.
getting any acknowledgement to take care of my kid.
Fuck this
this
kid.
kid. y'all can't see me, nigga. Y'all see me.
Y'all see what I'm doing out
You
here?
don't see me change
Y'all
this
see me
diaper?
pushing this stroller, nigga?
Fuck this stroller.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Listen, and real talk, I got a problem with niggas like that because
Yo.
niggas really be swearing
Yeah.
that they fucking Cliff Huxtable.
We gonna get into that, man. Let's
Yeah,
move
but
on.
we
Let's
kind of
move on.
jumped around. I just want to get this one thing out. So
Yeah.
what type of dad? What was your dad? Was he a chill sergeant, drill sergeant?
My
like
dad,
what was his style?
my dad was real chill. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He's never raised his voice to me. He's never raised his hand to me. You know, he's a real gentle kind of
Never?
guy. Never.
Ever?
Did you ever deserve it? Did you ever
Let me tell
deserve?
you,
Was
this-
you ever looking back now? Did you ever think I should have probably got hit? But my dad is so cool, he would never do that.
No, because I never test my father the way I test my mother. You know, my mother made him beat me one time. And he
Made him. That's
He
gangster.
made him. He didn't want to. He took him weeks to do it over some
Yeah. Oh,
bullshit,
man.
right? Over
Yeah.
some bullshit. And he like took his 2 fingers and like hit me on the
Yeah,
head
he-
like 3 times. I lost my mind. I was like,
Told you, look, he like, look.
better fuck out and shit.
Your mom's making me do this. So I was
Yeah. Your mama
Yeah.
said I gotta beat you.
Cry,
Act like it
cry.
hurt. Act like it hurt. Act like it hurt.
Cry right now. Your mama said I gotta do this. Cry right now. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
saying it was just that one time. But
Yeah.
he's always been a real gentle. You know, he like the discipline that I seen from him. It didn't come from like a punitive kind of
Yeah.
justice. It didn't come from like beating me or you know what I mean. It was just. You know, he just loved me so much. He's always respected me. That I always gave him that love and respect back. And he always had a really high bar for me, you know, as his child. Like, you know, he always told me the story how when I was 6 years old, I looked at him and I said, "Daddy, I got a good mind." He said it was just out the blue. We was just chilling in the car. And he was like, "Yeah, you just looked at me and you
Yeah.
said this shit," you know?
Awesome.
You know, so he's always tried to cultivate that in me. So he's always expected more from me than
Yeah.
I expected from myself. So it was always a matter of not getting beat, but of disappointing
Disappointment.
him.
Dope.
And that's
You know what
how
I'm
I
saying?
feel like that works the most. Do you think that influences you your style as a father?
Yeah,
How he
definitely,
was?
definitely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, as far, like, my mother would try to grab anything to me, so just a fucking shoe, whatever, a cup, whatever. She was beating everybody's ass.
Yeah.
Beating everybody. As they all were during that time
Y'all all
period.
getting a whooping. Everybody getting
I'm sorry, but do you have any siblings? Just one context.
Yeah, I got 3 older sisters.
Okay,
I got
just
3
one
older
con-
sisters.
just one
Yeah, I'm the
context.
youngest of 4.
That makes a difference.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
yeah. So it was a bunch of us. You know what I'm saying? And my father raised all of us. You know, from the hood, we got different daddies. When my father met my mom, she had already had 3 kids. He was like, "Yeah, I love them. Come on."
Oh, he's a cool dude.
He's
what-
dad as
this is what
fuck.
dad is fucking. He's dad as fuck. This is what real
Yeah.
talk. No, we might need to get your dad up here because this is what dad as fuck is all about. You know, really showing.
You
Sorry, go ahead.
niggas need to get over yourselves. You have to.
Wait, who? What do you mean?
Niggas in general,
Oh,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
super dope.
Yeah,
like
it is, it
you
is.
niggas gotta get over yourselves,
fact.
bro. Your little
That's a
sperm
fact.
not that important,
That's a
nigga. Take care of the village, take care of everybody.
Everybody.
Okay, all everybody's
Everybody.
babies. All his
Everybody.
deadbeat daddy's babies. But nah. So when I raising my daughter, I think about you know, I think my mother was just my biggest love. You know, I lost my mother 5 years ago to cancer.
Oh,
She was my
sorry to hear that.
best friend. We were super, super close. And me and my father have gotten closer since her death because he's
Gotcha.
kind of had to step up,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
But there's ways in which I've noticed me and my father, you know, we have conversations, but we don't necessarily have conversations about each other. We have conversations about everything else. We talk about black people. We talk
Yeah.
about white folks.
That's
Maybe talk
dope,
about
though.
some.
Yeah.
Maybe talk about God, or maybe talk about sports. But
And through that,
but through that we've bonded. But
Yeah.
I don't really like know a lot about him as a human being, as a man, as a friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As
No, I
and
totally
think-
agree with you.
Yeah, and as he's getting older, I see him giving me like little snippets of who he is.
giving you more.
Giving me a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, like my father's a Vietnam vet. You know.
Oh wow, that was gangster.
Yeah, he don't really talk
Super
about
He's
the
seeing
war.
some shit.
Yeah, he's seeing some shit, and I remember one time he had to go to the VA, and I don't know, I think he had a rough time. He came up to my mom's house to visit, so we all just sitting around, and he started talking about his visit to the VA and talking to the therapist, and he started telling us a story that he was telling his therapist about how there was a river that went from that flowed between the base and the village, and they would cross this village every day to go cross this river every day to go to the village to drink and to see girls or whatever,
Yeah.
and they used to call it Shit River because he would see bodies floating. There was always dead bodies of children and
Oh,
just
my God.
awful bodies, and he started telling the story, and he started to cry.
Oh wow.
And this is the first time I ever seen my dad cry, and I didn't know what to do. So I came up to him and was like, "Hey,
Hey guy.
And nigga, it's
up, gang?
That nigga died
He
dead.
was like, yo, hey, nigga, yo,
yeah,
no,
I
so good.
ain't that's it, dude. You cool, nigga? Yeah,
That's mad funny.
That's hilarious.
You know,
That's really not funny, but that's mad.
like, my mother looked at me and she was like, "I don't know."
No, I could, when you talk, I could definitely kind of relate. Like me and my dad have a similar relationship where it's like, you know, there's love there, but we don't talk about personal stuff that
Yeah.
much. You know what I'm saying?
So here's the thing, right? So I got this thing where I feel like parents are just people, right? Like I always tell everybody that like people come to me and they be like, "Oh, I got this like issue with like my parent, blah 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 blah," and I'm just
Yeah.
like, "Yo, my perspective on parenting is that parents are people, you know what I mean? And you might not necessarily ever want to like hang out with that person as a person,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
because they're your parent,
But you
have
need
like
them to be a
an
parent.
affinity to them. So
Yeah,
my
that's true.
question is if your dad wasn't your parent, do you think you could be cool with your dad? Like if he wasn't your parent?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, if my father wasn't my father, could I still be cool with him? Like he was just like some
Like, would
nigga
you
that I
still
met.
like
at the
he's
bar.
a cool
I would
dude?
still think
Like
he was
if
a
y'all
cool ass dude.
like if y'all was like the same age and y'all
yeah.
like just like, do you think like your
Yeah.
pops is somebody that you could just like
Yeah.
call your pops like, oh
Yeah, he's a cool.
come
he's,
through? Like,
yeah, I'm a lot like my dad. He's a cool ass nigga. He don't really get like he don't start no shit. He don't want no
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
he drink his little drink. He talk his little shit. Like he's a cool ass dude.
Yeah.
He ain't all rah and he the kind of person that I like to be.
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
But I think about that like your parent and then like the human side. Like I know what
Right.
with my mother. I only saw her as a mother. I didn't know her as like a. I mean, she was still my friend. Like we knew personal things about her, but like I didn't really know her as a woman or a feminine person until after she died and I had to go through her closet and I saw all the jewelry she had. And I was like, damn, I didn't know mommy had this much jewelry.
Oh, wow.
And she had her closet that was color coordinated. I was like, damn, I didn't know that she was this organized. And she took this part of her so seriously.
Serious.
You know what I mean? So there's certain things about our parents, their humanity that I think that we get protected from in order to create that parent-child relationship. So there's a part of my mother.
Because that's
and
more
my father.
important.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a divinity that's like a god to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
so that's why my dad started crying. I didn't know what the fuck to do.
Like,
that's like,
guys don't cry.
Guys don't
Guys
cry.
don't cry.
So
You know what I'm saying?
I think
But I
like
wanted to ask you, what did you think? Well, could you hang out with your dad? Could you ask the question?
honestly, man, you know what I mean? Yeah, niggas
Honestly,
say
man,
niggas but honestly, I think now I could like.
No, but that's not the question. If y'all were the same age,
But this is what I'm saying,
Yeah.
right? The information that I've now like gotten, you know what I mean, and being older and being brave enough to have certain conversations with my dad, I could now. If you would have asked me this question as recent as like 2 years ago, no.
hell no.
Hell
Nigga said, nigga,
to-
nah.
I ain't hanging with that nigga.
Fuck
Hey,
Nah, but
yeah.
that's what I'm
We
saying
hanging
though, because like you said, it's like I just feel like so much of
We got
Uh,
scrap first. No,
right, like nah, but that's a fact. Like right, like we gotta earn this respect. Like we gotta shake it out. You know what I mean? But like I just think that as you get older and you're able to have like certain conversations and like really get to learn them as people and not so much as parents.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of these preconceived notions that you have about them, or a lot of these like because I was a grown ass man with like childish ideas about
Yeah.
who my parent was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So having adult conversations kind of chip away at those childhood notions that you have about your
Yeah.
parent. So that's why
That's
I say
true.
like up until 2 years ago, before like right around the time that my son was born, because I kind of wanted to knock down that barrier.
Yeah.
Of like they were like, why we can't click? Like
Yeah.
what's going on? And then we really sat down. We had like mad Hennessy and like a real kind. It was like we had like a real conversation.
Negro, a real Negro
And-
spiritual connection.
But I really,
Hennessy's involved.
Hennessy is like that's
Hennessy.
like
A real
the,
black libation.
that's the
Black
libations of the ancestors, right? Like,
Clearly. Clearly.
So we had like a deep conversation about like how he grew up and you know what I mean, how he didn't have a father and just like him just not really knowing what the fuck he was doing.
I'll say sometimes
And-
it's that simple.
but-
You can't
but you
judge
know-
somebody that.
But I love the
Yeah.
fact that he was candid enough to tell me like, oh bro, like I really didn't know what the fuck I was
don't know.
doing,
Yeah,
and
do
I was
any of
like,
us know?
oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense because this whole time I thought
You was
like.
doing this on purpose.
Hey, like,
you fucking my life up on purpose.
You don't suck because you suck. You suck because you was freestyling. Like, you're really a whack freestyler, bro. Like, you're terrible at
Terrible at
freestyling.
freestyling.
Yeah,
This
so-
whole time I thought you just hated me.
nigga.
I just
This ain't
thought.
know what the fuck you was doing.
I was.
You ain't try hard enough. That's what they
Exactly.
do.
No, that's a fact. I want to move on to something a little more lighthearted. We was getting too deep there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to know what's one thing that your daughter does that annoys you.
Oh, all that fake ass crying she
Oh
do.
man.
All that
How old
whining.
is your daughter, by the way?
19 months.
Okay.
So she
Which
don't-
is because I'm drunk.
A year and a half.
A year and a half.
Yeah,
roughly.
I got
Yeah,
you.
roughly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She be 2 in January.
Round it up to the nearest drunk.
Something like that.
43 months. Nah, so my baby's 8.5 years old, 19 months. That fake crying that she do, you know what I mean? She know, and and she make it. It's like the pitch. It's like the pitch of the tone. It's so annoying. Like she know exactly.
She know that was
where to
gonna
go.
get you.
She knows. It's gonna make me like turn like, what do you want?
Yo,
Get some Cheerios.
I got
some
a
juice.
quick question. So my daughter, a quick story. My daughter is 9 months, so she sleeps in her own room, whatever, her crib. But she started waking up like every hour, whatever. This is like last weekend. So my wife getting up, boom, got going there, hold her, rock with her, put her back to sleep, put her back down. So my wife had to do this like 3-4 times. She's like, she wake up again, I ain't getting her. Cry it out, whatever. Boom, she wake up, crying start. This shit didn't stop, and it might have went on for 2.5 minutes, but it felt like
forever, right?
An hour.
So
Forever.
I got up like, nah, you ain't doing this to my daughter, man.
So
What's
look,
wrong with you?
So look, that crying out shit does not work, bro.
But I wanted to say one more thing.
Go,
Like you
go.
said, I'm for. But that pitch, she hit a no. And it was like, oh no, I'm going. I got you.
you
Don't
got
worry
it,
about it.
yeah.
And that pitch, they know.
They know what they doing.
And they pushing, and they're like, okay, they got you now.
So,
Yeah.
so my son, right? I tried that crying out stuff, and I was asking everybody, anybody. I was asking like old white ladies at my job. So it's funny. I had this director, right? So my director is like, oh, like my daughters, like I let them cry it out, like they just cried for like 15 minutes.
No, that's too long. That's too long.
They cried for like 15 minutes, and then they eventually learn. And I'm in the health profession, so it's like you're getting this from like a health OG.
Yeah, so you feel like
you,
it makes
you
sense.
clearly know what time it
Yeah.
is, right? So I went home, and at the time I was like, my wife was working overnights, so I was home with my child. You know what I mean? So I would work, I would come home, I would be with him overnight, and I would try to like, I was in school, I was trying to do like homework. And So
it's stress going on. You're doing a lot of stuff.
I'm mad
yeah.
stressed out. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. He gonna have to cry it out.
And I gotta do what I gotta do.
We gonna have to cry it out.
Close the door, you gonna cry.
So he's in there crying, right? So like this nigga just like start making himself throw up.
My daughter do that shit.
They
yo.
took it there. He's like, what? You ain't coming. I'm
You
gonna kill
ain't paying
myself.
attention.
I'm gonna kill myself.
So then this the thing, right? So then
kill myself.
So then he got a little bit older to the point where he couldn't just like make himself cry. He couldn't make himself throw up from just crying anymore, right? Like just like he couldn't just throw up, right?
Nigga put a plastic
So-
bag over his face.
No, I wish.
I'm going out.
Nigga, come get me right now.
I'm going out.
So
Pay
look.
me attention.
And this is when I was like, this crying out shit. But like the throw up wasn't bad enough for me, right? I was like, all right,
that's
whatever.
crazy.
Nah, it wasn't bad enough for me, right? So one night he's
crying.
I'm like, he gonna do this crying out thing again.
Yeah.
And then so he's crying. We had a crib. Like the crib was maybe like the bars on the shit was maybe like 4 feet. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He just started
Nigga
like
jumped out.
What? He just started
He said-
cruising.
Nigga
he
said-
jumped out the crib. I heard it was like wham.
Risk it all.
I heard silence and I heard boom.
Nigga said I'm throwing it all away, bro.
All the way.
If you ain't gonna come pick me up, I'm
So
throwing
listen,
it all away.
y'all-
I have
listen,
no
don't let
more
your
reason
kid-
to live.
Don't let your kid cry
Nah.
at the tender age of 16 months. You ain't
Nah.
let it all. You ain't let it all go.
Let it go.
Let it all go.
Let it go. Daddy, well, you don't want to pick me up? It's time
Right,
to die.
we gonna get these people here. We gonna get you locked
Baby's
up.
so fucking dramatic. My daughter did that too. She
They be
she
so
wanna she
fucking
choked herself.
Baby's so fucking dramatic.
They so goddamn
They are.
dramatic.
They really are.
My
though.
daughter put her fingers down her throat and started choking. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Oh my god.
Come on. Here are your sad Cheerios. Here's Elmo. Now,
Yeah.
Calm the fuck. What's
Yeah.
the thing
Come
that your
fuck
kid
yeah.
does that annoys you at 8
Oh
months?
man. She wants to take my glasses off my face.
That's cool.
And you
guy.
know what's crazy about that though? Because I can't fucking see. So it's like, if you take them
I can't
off,
walk in a straight line.
it's
like
a
shit.
wrap. Like I'm in
That's
a bed,
mad
like. Put them shits back on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, ultimately, she just wants to grab everything. That's what's
Yeah.
most annoying. Anything in my hand. And so, funny thing is, she wants whatever you want. Like, so she'll
Yup.
take my glasses off, right? And I'll be smart enough, like, well, you got it, cool. and I start doing something else, she's like, fuck these glasses.
Like,
I want
Yeah,
that now.
yeah. That's a
Like,
fact.
she just want
want
everything
what you
I
want.
got. And I'm
Yeah.
like, man, get your own shit. I
Right,
bought you
right.
all these toys, all this
I
shit.
can't have my phone in
Don't
my
give a
hand in
fuck.
front of my daughter. She
Yeah.
grabbing at it, she's screaming for it, and then she's swiping
I
through
bought
the
her a
shit.
fake phone. That shit ain't work.
It don't
I
work.
gave
Y'all
her
care
an
about that
old
shit.
phone. That shit ain't what she want.
Yeah,
Your
your
phone.
phone. Yeah, they want your
Period.
shit. Yup,
That's
that's
what
it.
that's what
And
annoys
that's,
me the most.
and that I think that's like the true essence of fatherhood. Like
Yeah.
your child want the shit you got.
That's a fact.
So get some good
They
shit
want
and give
you.
it to them.
Not only that, I think even deeper than that, they want you. Like they
Yeah.
want
They
everything.
want the things that you want.
Yeah, they
And
just
what got
want to
your
be
attention.
you inside
But
of
this
you.
is what I'm
your
saying, right?
world.
But this
Yeah.
is why, as a dad, you have to want more, right? And
Oh, yeah.
this is why,
I like
as a
that.
dad, you have to achieve more, right?
Yeah.
Because if your kid wants what you have and what they see you with,
Yep.
you should want to aspire to be more to give that to them,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Your ceiling is definitely they
Your
ceiling.
ceiling gotta be
You know what I
higher.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
What's the thing that your kid does that annoys you?
I don't think we got nothing.
How is his son?
My son is 2. My
two.
son is 2. He's
That's a good age. I was
he's-
they call it terrible twos, but I feel like
he's
they
like
cool at that
he's
age.
2.5. He's really not cool. So like the whining,
Yeah.
That whining
the
shit kills me.
the crying for no reason, the fake potty train. Like he'll do number 1, but he won't do number 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So but he could speak like. He's an advanced speaker for his
Yeah.
age, so he like puts together like really dope ass sentences. You know what I mean? For his age, so like he'll really be like, "Daddy, I poop in my pants." Like, he'll really say that, and then I'm like, "Bro, you really just said that? Like, you should be able to say,
Bro,
Daddy,
yeah.
I have to poop."
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
That's such a dad's
I don't-
sentence.
I don't think
You're
that's.
so serious. Like you need to say, "Dad, I gotta poop."
I don't
Yeah.
think that's like a crazy request. Like, cause you could, like you could say,
You can just flip those words around a little bit.
bro, like
Just-
he puts in orders for breakfast. He be like, "I want waffles and eggs
that's
and
gangsta.
turkey."
He could, like you
you
said,
can't
he
tell
could
you took a
clearly,
shit, you
he
okay?
could just say something like, "Daddy poop."
Yeah.
So and that could tell you that he
But
needs
it's
to
the thing,
poop
he will say that after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter does that too. I think it take a minute for them to like know when it's coming. You know what
So-
I'm saying?
so this is
They
my
can't,
thing.
Like, tell you.
So as a dad, and I don't know, I'm gonna encourage dads to do this. I'm gonna try it, and on the next show, I'm gonna let y'all know if it worked.
Yeah.
I think that they do so much of what they see you do that I think I gotta really bring them in the bathroom
No, you
with
do.
me and
You
let
do.
a load out. Let
You
him
do.
that
You do.
fuck.
This nigga.
Dude, he
He
said,
gotta-
"Daddy poop." I do that to my
Yeah.
daughter. Like, "Daddy pooping." Daddy poops in the toilet. I bring it right there. She be just looking at me.
But I
Daddy
think he's
poop.
super confused because mommy sits down to pee, right? So like
Yeah.
he climbs on the toilet, he sits down and he will pee. But I don't think he ever
Yes, he
sees
really poop.
anybody actually pooping.
Take him
Yeah.
in there. We take a shit.
But how do you see?
think that's
I don't
the-
want to
Take 'em
get
in
too
there.
deep into this, but like
I think I had to go in there with
you
him.
can't see a nigga shit.
I just gotta hit him with the gas chamber, right? So I gotta close the door.
Close the door.
Let one out. Then
And
let
then
him
be like,
look.
look,
Daddy
this is what
poop.
daddy
Say
did.
bye bye to it. Flush it.
Yeah, the whole nine.
I got you.
I'm a child.
That's nasty, but got you.
That's nasty.
It's a
man.
bunch
They
of
love
men.
you. They been in that in the shitty bathroom, just stinking.
Yeah.
They just be right there, just loving
They
you.
would
Yeah.
love
They
it. That's
They
the
just wanna be
craziest
around.
thing. That's
They
the
don't care.
craziest thing. That's dope.
A bunch of grown men talking about poop. This
Poop
is
and
dad
shit.
as fuck.
Dad as
This is real
fuck,
dad
baby. This is that, yo. This is dad as fuck, bro. It's really dad as fuck. That ass. So
Oh,
look, I'm
man.
also all right. So Tiq, what is your biggest fear as a dad?
I think my biggest fear as a father is the time, particularly as a father to a little girl. Well, I think our children, period. There's going to be a time in my
You can go
daughter's
there
life.
because I think it
Let's do
matters.
it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I think it
As-
matters
as
if it's a
daughter-
boy or girl.
Yeah, so for me as having a little girl, there's gonna come a time in her life where I'm not gonna be able to protect her. Things are gonna happen to her. She's gonna get her heart broken. She's gonna be hurt.
Yeah.
And it's not, and there's nothing that I'm gonna be able to do. So I'm just worried about what that's gonna feel like or what that's gonna be. Because right now I can protect her from everything.
Yeah.
Because right now I make all the decisions for her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But as she gets older, as she comes into her personhood, things are gonna happen in her life
Yeah.
that I can't
control.
I can't control.
Can't
So-
protect her.
Yeah,
So-
and I can't protect her, and that
so-
worries me.
So
That
is
worries
your
me.
fear her getting hurt, or is
Yeah.
your fear you being
No.
unable to shield her from it?
I think it's both. She's gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
that's
that's
just
life.
It's gonna happen.
But I got a deeper question. Is there anything specific? Like if you right in your mind right now when I ask what's the worst thing that could happen to her, what's the first thing that comes to,
Her
to
getting
mind?
assaulted, her getting raped, her getting
Definitely.
sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
And and the thing is, and this is just real, you know what I'm saying? Like 80% of the women I know have had some experience in that, some kind of way, to a varying degree, whether it's just, being called a bitch in the street because you decide not to talk to this nigga, or you being full on like raped by somebody. Like,
or
most
something
of the
even in the
women.
middle where it's like you're forced into an act because you feel like you have
You
to.
have to,
or
like,
something
I ain't
like
want to fuck
that.
with this nigga, but I knew it was gonna be blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I know so many of my friends was like, I did it because I want him to wild out. That shit that's
just
crazy.
as bad.
That's just
That's
as
as
bad.
horrible.
So-
I worry about that.
Yeah.
So with that fear in mind, right? Like, what is your approach to like parenting? Like as a dad, like what,
right now, what could you do right now that
Like,
you
yeah,
feel
like-
she'll
like
keep
what-
with her to help
Yeah.
her?
right? Like, what is your game plan to kind of put these fail safes in place for her?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because see, at the end of the day, if and when that happens, you know what I'm saying, it's not going to be because of anything she did or didn't do. It's going to be because of the
Right.
action of the person, the perpetrator, right?
Yeah.
So I understand that, but at the same time, it's important I want her to have a self-awareness and a confidence in herself as a young woman.
definitely.
And that comes from, we have to understand as fathers of daughters is that they're, the first semblance of love they see is what they get from their dads. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
It's how you treat the mother of your children. It's how you treat her. It's how you treat other women, other people in your life. You know what I mean? Like how you can lead with kindness and compassion and still be strong, and still be a provider. Like making sure that she can see that balance and loving her the best way that she can, so that she has there's a bar. There's a high
You
bar.
catching the Holy Ghost nigga shaking. This nigga said,
Yeah, I just came from church. I did just
no, ring, go.
He took us to the mountaintop.
But that's
To the mountaintop. Ain't no other I know.
Oh
Ain't
man,
no
I'm so mad I interrupted. I couldn't help myself. I was.
Ain't no river wide
It's not-
enough to keep me from protecting you, babe.
Very good.
I love you, Corey.
Oh man.
But that's my whole thing. That's what I can do for my little girl right now is to love her the best way I can, and to make sure that she has really solid examples of love, particularly how I treat her mom. Now, so me and my wife are going through a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Right
Sorry to
now.
hear that.
Yeah.
Or maybe.
I don't know.
Divorce is never good. Like, you don't get married to get
Especially
divorced.
you got a child.
Yeah, we were married for 5 years. We got a little baby.
Wow.
And divorce, you don't get married to get a divorce.
Sipping tea. He's talking like
All that I can say.
I wish I had some more. Like, it's empty like a
Phil,
fucking
you put the bottle down. We shouldn't be saying that. Anyway, go ahead.
Cut that out. We start from the top.
What's that?
Movie magic.
All that.
Nah, so me and my ex-wife right now we're in the middle of a divorce. And let me tell you something, just for all the folks out
Let
there.
me tell you, no one
Let me
say that.
Let me
Let me something right there. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you what. All hopes of sponsorship is about to go down the drain. Tiq about to let me tell you something.
No, for real. Yeah, listen, if you're married, just know this. Know this. Let me tell you, the person you marry is not the person you divorce. All right?
Yeah.
Just know that.
Yeah,
Just
facts,
know that, right?
facts.
So, yeah. So,
Just know.
So
I ain't
me and
gonna
Shorty
say
not really
nothing, but
talking
I'ma
right
say
now.
it. I ain't gonna talk about it, but I'ma tell you.
I ain't getting all into my business. Yeah. So
Just know.
Let me tell you niggas something.
Be careful who you divorce, my nigga. That ain't the same woman you married.
He came through unhinged
Let
today.
me tell you.
Oh man.
I'm dying.
All that nice shit.
Low key, I wanna go into a whole different show.
Do it. Fuck it.
Husband
Do
as
it.
fuck.
Yeah.
We gonna say that.
Yeah, don't
We gonna
invite
say
me on
that.
that
We
show.
gonna say
I'm
that.
ex-husband as
Yeah,
fuck.
we gonna
Let me
say
tell you.
that.
I'm on
We
my
gonna
ex-husband
say that.
shit.
We gonna say that.
But me and my ex-wife going through a divorce right now. We aren't necessarily getting along. So the conversations we have right now is about my daughter, child support, when I'm going to see her, what she need, but that we don't really have conversations. Now, and I'm happy that we're able to go through this now that my kid is little, because she doesn't get to see mommy and daddy like having this friction. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And a part of the reason of us getting divorced was because we noticed that our communication was just off, and I was like, I don't want us to get into these little arguments in front of her. You know what I mean? To have this real energy in front of her, because the kids pick up on that energy. Because as parents, we are the head of the household. So if your energy's all fucked up, if you are stressed out,
That
or
goes right into
upset,
them.
That's a
this
fact.
right right into them, and then they start acting out, and then they start throwing tantrums, and they doing all kinds of weird shit, throwing themselves on the ground and making themselves throw up, and doing this wild shit the kids fucking
Jumping
do.
out the crib.
You know, jumping out, just doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, part of the divorce was like, we have to think about what's best for Soleil, for our daughter. And the best thing for us to do is to have this time apart right now, you know, do all the healing and whatever fuck we got to do. So then by the time she's 3 or 4, we can actually be friends again.
Yeah.
Right? And she can still see a really loving partnership between her.
That's what she needs.
That's what my daughter needs to see.
We spoke about, I think, last week. I'm just throwing in because you brought up child support.
Yeah.
What is your feeling on that? Like, do you feel like, well, first I can ask, is it going to be like a court? I guess in divorce, it has to be like court order type of thing.
You don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to go to court.
I don't want to
You
get
know
on
what
your
I'm
business, but
Nah, but
are y'all heading that way?
saying? We might, because she...
Well, you don't gotta get into it, but so the reason I asked that is to say, so how do you feel? Like, do you feel? Do you feel like
fuck it.
That's my dream.
Yeah, yo, we got we'll go to the bar after this.
See, like, bring in another drink.
But
Bang my head on the microphone.
so do you feel like you should pay what the court decides? How do you feel about paying that, and then should you pay more?
So,
give
I think-
extra and above. And
So I think the question is like, is the court mandated amount, should that be it?
enough, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or do you feel like as a dad that you should actually pay more than that? Like,
Well, I mean...
Mommy say she need this. Mommy want
Right.
this.
Well, you know, listen, I've been looking.
and niggas say, well, you listen up.
I've been looking, and you know, you pay something like 17% of your income per child,
Facts.
right? So right now, I'm paying her a little bit more than that. You know
And
what I'm
that's
saying?
without like a.
Well,
Without the courts
yeah.
or nothing,
Right.
right? So like, I bought her a car. I gave it to her.
Got money.
I still pay for that car, and I give her
That's a gift.
a lot. I give her a good amount of money every month. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind doing that. And I think the amount I give her is fair.
Yeah.
You know, my whole thing is that if we have to get lawyers involved, it's because she's trying to do too much.
Yeah.
It's like the money that I'm providing for you should be enough, you know, for you
You're
to-
doing the right thing.
I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And you know, and I think, you know, people, you know, child support can get tricky because
Yeah.
I think there's one school of thought was like, you know, this is just for the child, it's just for the child, and
Yeah.
you don't want the mom to do anything with the money. But you know, if you know, the mother of my child is with her every day, and you know, she got to keep a roof over her head, she got to keep food in the refrigerator, she got to pay all the bills.
She gotta just feel good about herself too.
And feel good about herself.
Yeah.
Then the whole thing about child support is that you are paying money so that the child can have as close of a semblance as a 2-parent home.
Yeah.
Without you in the home.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So if that means that I give money to my baby mother, and half of that money goes towards paying rent, and then the other half of that goes
Get her
towards
nails done. Hot girl summer.
Yeah, you know, listen, do whatever she wants. But that's what I told her. I said, this is the amount I'm giving you. I put that shit in emails as per our email. And I keep it in a file called divorce.
Document.
Got a paper trail.
I got a file called divorce.
Got a paper
And
trail.
as a paper trail, as per our agreement, enter.
Facts.
You know, I'm paying you this
Yeah.
amount, and I'm not paying you anymore.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I just
So-
wanted to hear your spiel on it.
Yeah. But I think it's important. I think it's
Marv,
important.
where we at with time? 'Cause I ain't keep my watch don't work.
Oh, we lit then.
Okay.
But he got
want-
what
but
time?
we
What
don't
time
want. Yeah,
is
yeah.
it?
Like how long we been
Alright,
recording
How
so
long you
far?
wanna- How long you want to go for another?
We could do another 15 minutes and get you
Yeah,
out
15
here,
minutes
right?
is perfect.
15
Yeah,
minutes is
that
great.
sounds good.
So just to shift gears and shit. So edit out that cough. It sounded very
Sickly.
tuberculous. So given that, you know what I mean, you're like you're pretty much like a public figure.
Yeah.
And you're definitely like an activist, which
Yeah.
is really dope.
Awesome.
How would you feel if your daughter kind of grew up and became like a public figure or is in the public light in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, you know, she might, because that's kind of work that I do, and that's kind of work her mom does, and so she's always around it. Whenever we give speeches, you know, podcasts, she's been with me at podcasts. She's behind the door, behind the scenes when we're on stage.
Awesome.
So that might be something she's interested in. I would love it. You know, that's the thing. Whatever my daughter decides to do, whoever she decides to be, that's on her. You know, and that's one thing that I learned from my dad. My father, you know, he said, you know, who you are in the world that's on you. It's how you are in the world, that's on me. You know what I'm saying? So I
I'm liking your dad more and more,
I gotta
baby.
teach you how to be in this world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whoever my daughter decides to be, that's fine. But as long as she leads with love and compassion, and she's an honest person, you know, and she puts herself first, you know, like the work I do as an advocate and public speaker, it means I gotta give so much to so many people all the time. You know, and just finding that balance of still having some value of yourself when you're not on stage, and also valuing like your downtime, you know.
Yeah.
So I think I would just really encourage her to, you know, just take her time, to take her time, and you know, be about the people, and you know, don't compromise her integrity or her values for anybody or for any check amount. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And that's what the real success kind of looks like when you do that.
I got a follow up question. So what's one thing that you wouldn't want your daughter to do?
What I
Is there anything? Is there anything
you
that
know,
you would be like, you know what, you can do it if you like, but you know, I'd rather you not.
You know, I'd rather her not like follow some fuck nigga to the end of the earth. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would want. I would rather her not make bad decisions.
But do you feel like those bad decisions are a reflection of your parenting? Like, would you feel like that?
Not really. Not.
I like that as fuck.
I said it.
Dad,
Get it.
Dad as
I done
fuck.
did my best. I done showed you. I done gave you the blueprints.
Yeah.
I done tried to lead by example.
Yeah.
But once you become an adult and you decide to
Facts.
make your decisions, them your fucking
Yeah.
decisions. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like, I can
Facts.
always be here for you to get you back on track. But if you keep making the bad decisions, you know, that's on you. So
Yeah.
no.
What's something you wouldn't want your son to do?
What's something I wouldn't do?
Yeah, would not. To do, become career wise, life choice wise, whatever.
See, I'm weird, man. Like, I feel like whatever he does, as long as he is happy at the end of it, then I feel like I've succeeded.
Yeah, that's the
As a
thing.
parent.
What if he want to be Ghost? Power on
Then
tonight.
we gonna figure out how he could be the best
Ghost.
ghost that he gotta be.
Figure this out.
You feel me? Like,
Figure this out.
it sounds fucked up, but it's like, I really don't like. That's my
Because-
child
I'm
at the
sorry.
end of the day. You know what I mean? So I feel like as long as his primary focus isn't like just like solely like self-preservation, right?
Yeah.
I feel like if his focus is like happiness, and he's like, damn, dad, you know, I feel like I'm like a really good like.
Drug dealer.
Drug dealer. I'm like a really good drug dealer.
This is my calling, Daddy.
Daddy,
my calling, man.
I really know how to get these grams off.
So then we gonna say, you know what I mean? Like, but me, like I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like a fake conscious nigga. So I'm gonna be like, well, son, who you selling these drugs to? That's a whole nother show.
Make
though.
sure you keep it out of our community. Keep it out of our community.
I tell you, this show ain't gonna go past week with no sponsors. We done.
Snowfall sponsor us.
But
Facts.
but on some real shit though, man. I just want my, and I have another one on the way in September. So
Yeah.
I just
Congratulations.
want. Thank you. I just want both my kids to just be happy and not be trapped by like public perceptions of what other people think success should be or looks like. You know what I mean? It's
When
like
you say other people though, does your opinion matter?
my opinion.
Of what you think success or failure or
I don't have an
positive, negative.
My opinion of success is happiness, right?
Gotcha, perfect.
And if you
Yeah.
if you get paid from being
Happy, yeah.
then you are the ultimate success, right? Because I
that's
wake
true.
up and I punch a clock every
Yeah.
day, and that's not necessarily something that I'm happy about
Yeah.
doing. I like what I do. I love what I do. Well, I'm lying.
Yeah,
I'm lying.
Now I'm lying.
Honestly, now that I said it out loud.
I'm lying.
You know what? That's not true.
But this is the thing. So my job.
So quick.
If I could get
Maybe I don't.
if I could get paid a quarter of what I get paid now doing something I love,
yeah.
I would choose to do that instead of, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
doing
what
what
you're
I do
doing, yeah.
now and getting paid how much I get paid.
Definitely.
So
No, I hear you on
so
that.
I really don't have too many things that like, you know what I mean, like that I would like bar my child from doing if it really made them happy.
If you-
Unless
if
it was like some super sadistic shit. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, bro, like, yeah.
Get your life
Well,
together.
what's that thing? I want to hear it.
Like you can't, Dad. I want to. You can't be Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, I was
Okay, I respect that. Yeah, I was like
Dad, I
that.
really
Turn
like
your ass in.
Listen.
Dad, you heard about this guy Timothy McVeigh? Oh, nigga.
We gotta talk.
I got to ship you across the sea.
Yeah. I mean, when
You your mother's child.
Crazy shit's all your mother.
That's a
Mother
fact.
shit.
And I mean, how about you? What's the
You
thing?
know my answer. I mean, if you listen to my music, I've said it a couple times. Maybe you have. Yeah, listen, I don't really want my daughter to be a stripper. I just don't really want her to be a stripper. Like, And I'm only saying that I just don't want her to do that. Like, I'm not like, I wouldn't hate her if she was.
I feel like this is gonna be like a recurring conversation on every show.
Every episode.
My thing is, what if stripping leads to something else?
So this is what I'm getting to. And like,
The niggas with daughters get
and I want to clarify this because I'm an artist and I party and I feel like my daughter's gonna be the life of the party, just like me as well. And if you can get, like you said, if you're really good at this, but really good, I don't even think about it, but.
What if like, you know what I mean?
What
Like,
if she
that's
just
the
knows
thing? Like,
how to entertain people?
Listen, I want to strip. You know what I mean? Like, and get some money. Like
you said, you know, I'm a hustler. I come from the bottom, so it's like, get the bread if it make you happy and you have an end game. Because I just don't. First of all, I don't think it's sustainable. For one, so you know it's just not a smart move. If you use it as an investment tool or something, maybe.
So
but
Like, help her think strategically about it.
Not
She gonna
okay.
make that. She gonna make a decision like that.
Not okay.
So
You didn't even have
not
to finish that sentence. I'm not okay with anything.
Shit ain't okay. Shit ain't right.
Like and I feel as a dad, I'm okay. I feel comfortable. No, I feel comfortable voicing that to her with love.
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't approve of that, shorty.
No.
I'm not approving of it. And like I said, it's not really about the profession, to be honest with you. I just feel like it's more of a personal thing. Like, do you not feel like you can do something else great?
Right.
You know what I mean? With your
Yeah.
talents,
Yeah.
with your brain, with your mind, with your heart.
Yeah.
Can you help the world in a different way?
Right.
Strippers help the world. Listen, I'm not hating on
I ain't
strippers
gonna
at
hold you.
all.
I
They
do.
They
Yeah.
have a service. They provide a service. I mean, it's one of the oldest professions.
Yeah,
along with
that's
not for nothing. That's a
Don't
difference.
conflate.
Don't conflate those two things. That's a whole other conversation.
Don't do that, man.
Don't do that.
But not for nothing.
alienated the motherfucking
Strippers are like the
strippers.
purveyors of the culture. Like if your song don't pop in the strip
I
club, if
love
the strippers
strippers.
don't like your song, then your song ain't gonna get played. So I mean, there's
And I'm gonna take it a step
there's
further.
different service
I'm
that
saying,
they
bro, this is
provide.
Dad as Fuck show, and I feel like, you know, I know a lot of dads that frequent strip clubs. Not
Oh,
me.
my God.
I don't really frequent
I haven't-
strip clubs.
I haven't-
Let me tell you
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Teak just used the word strippers and purveyors.
I don't even
in
know
the
what that
same-
word means. I think I know what
he
it
used the word
means.
strippers and purveyors of the culture. In like in the
It's
same.
the truth.
Yeah.
I think strip clubs maybe are the purveyors.
Maybe,
of,
but,
Yeah.
but if
But the strippers
the
themselves-
strippers don't want to shake their ass to your song,
Nigga, they gotta work.
They gotta work. But if your song don't pop in the
You need
strip
the
club,
enthusiasm?
let me tell you. Can I just? Because I read this article.
That's your first
Hold on.
problem.
What's the big strip
article
club
was
in
you
Atlanta?
reading?
What's the big strip club in Atlanta? Magic Mike's, the Diamonds.
Magic City.
Magic
City.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it was
I
a
went
GQ.
there.
It
Don't
was this
do
thing
it.
at GQ, and they were just talking about like we talk about like pop culture and hip hop culture.
Yeah.
How places like that, if the girls aren't into your
That's a
song,
fact.
then the song
That's a
doesn't get
fact.
spins on the radio.
that's a
so
fact.
it's kind of where things
Yeah.
start. So I'm just saying all that to say, you know,
Shake that ass when my record drop.
exactly.
Make it bounce.
Make
and
it
your
bounce,
wig
make
touch
it
the
hot.
flow. Listen, I definitely want to move on, but you made me
Yeah,
think
let's
about
move on.
something real quick. And you know what? I'd rather her be a stripper than like a soldier at war. So,
Yeah.
like, so, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd
So
be over if my daughter wanted to
I don't
join
know,
the
I'll be
armed
crying
services.
every day.
Damn, that's deep.
I'd be
I'll
real
be
mad
sitting
my daughter
around
wanted
just
that.
crying. So,
Don't
stripper,
enlist.
shout out to y'all.
Listen, don't enlist. Come to Bliss.
Don't enlist, come to
Shout out to
Bliss.
strippers. Daddies
Facts,
love you.
Facts. So look, we got a fun question I wanted to ask. We had a ball coming up with this question yesterday. I thought it was funny. I hope you guys think it's funny as well. So I want to know, who do you think? I can't even say it out laughing. Who do you think would be the better dad from Sesame Street? Ernie, the Cookie Monster, or Count Dracula? Who do you think would be the best dad out of those three?
I like the Count. The Count
Okay.
is kind of my favorite, my
Yeah.
favorite character because
Really?
I like the Count because he's so cool. Cookie Monster,
He's so cool.
Cookie Monster too aggressive. Cookie Monster holler too much. He always goddamn hollering. You know what I'm saying?
That's a troubled household though. You're making a good point.
It's so
Stop
funny.
hollering, nigga.
So go ahead.
Well, let-
I'm
I
gonna-
wanna hear-
I wanna hear
Ernie,
this one.
I like Ernie. I like Ernie.
Hebrew.
I think he might be a little softer than I'm used to as a father. You know what I'm saying? I think I need somebody. I'm a chill kind of dad, but I
Yeah.
can't see Ernie just like turning up the discipline when he needs
A
to.
little
I
bit.
think
He
the
got
Count
to.
kind of right in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like the Count is just like one. Like,
Is
say
the
what he
count?
mean, he
Is
mean
the
what the fuck
count
he say.
evil though? I mean, I guess on Sesame Street, nobody's evil.
No, nobody's even on Sesame Street.
My
Sesame
nigga,
Street.
you just picked a vampire. Like, it's like that's his.
That's what I'm asking.
Is he a
That's
vampire in his account? Is
My
every account?
nigga.
Is every count a vampire?
He
Is
has
every-
fangs.
Oh, wait, does
His
he turn
name
into
is
a bat?
Dracula.
Yes.
He has to.
Oh,
He has fangs, bro.
He has fangs. He does. He got to use them sometimes. He
I'm
don't
picking
have-
an account.
Damn.
I'm picking an account. Who's y'all picking?
Yeah. What about you? Who would you pick?
Shit, I'm picking Cookie Monster. This is why, right? I'm gonna tell you why. Number one, my kid loves Cookie Monster. That's number one. But I feel like Cookie Monster is like a black guy.
It's loud for no fucking reason.
I feel like Cookie Monster
Eating up all the food.
I feel like Cookie Monster is like from like the West Indies somewhere.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? And he just loves
Jamaican
fucking
uncle.
cookies. He's the Jamaican uncle. That's a fact. I feel like
God.
Cookie Monster would be dope. Like.
His name is really Cloyd.
But the only thing with Cookie Monster is that like this nigga, his priorities is fucked up. Like I don't know if he
Exactly.
might
Clearly.
He's
throw you
obsessed
under the
with
bus.
cookies.
But
That's not like a
Obsessed.
problem.
but
He's an addict. He's an addict.
Can't be raising my
Technically,
R. Kelly.
he's an addict.
it says
Technically,
he is an addict, right?
he's an addict. He's an
But
addict.
I just feel like fatherhood supersedes all of that. I think the minute Cookie Monster has a kid, he'll be like,
But that's not the question.
he'll be like a kid. But
See,
We're using them as dads. Like they're them
Right now?
as dad. That's
oh
dad.
yeah, then fuck.
He's like, oh, he can, does he, can he speak? Can he speak?
What?
barely.
Yeah, like barely.
Just everything's cookie.
You
C is for
niggas,
cookie.
you niggas need to spin the block and watch the show again.
Maybe I haven't watched it
I
in
know
a
that
minute. You
scene
right. I
is
In
haven't
more
Cookie.
months, you're gonna be watching that shit a lot.
Yo, yeah, she just do the songs right now. So I know all the Elmo songs. I
Yeah.
know the C is for Cookie song by Cookie Monster. I know I know the shit
I'm
verbatim.
in 2 months,
Yeah.
she gonna be on it a lot.
I mean,
who would you pick?
I don't know. It's like I want to just pick Ernie because y'all picked the two others, and I can make a good argument for Ernie. I just feel like Ernie is. I think he's caring. I think he's
Yeah, he
caring.
is.
So
Ernie
wait,
is
let's
real
just
nice. He's mad
clarify.
nice.
Let's just clarify, because niggas don't be knowing. Ernie is the orange one.
That goes. What's he say?
He'd be like, "Hey, Bert."
Oh yeah. Bert is the yellow
Hey, Bert.
tall head
Bert.
one, the big
So
head.
honestly, I do think Ernie. Then I think Ernie will be the better dad.
I feel like he's. But I like. I'm on the fence with him. I'm leaning toward Count.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Chocula again. Count Dracula.
Count Chocula.
I'm leaning toward him, but Ernie, he just seems very caring, thoughtful.
Yeah, that's true.
He's worried about Bert. He's like really wants to get Bert going.
Mm-hmm.
I
Let
mean,
me motivation.
I
Motivation.
don't think that he worries about Bert. I think
No,
he
it's his
just-
own insecurities.
I think he wants a nigga to play with all
Yeah,
the
it's
time.
his own
So that's
insecurities.
why I think he might be a good dad. Because I
He's
feel like
got the
He's a
energy.
fun
I
dad.
feel like a kid will love that up until a point. So I feel like he's good for like up until like preteens, and then like,
I
God.
disagree.
Annoying
I
shit,
disagree.
Daddy.
I
Stop
disagree.
waking me up
Yo,
to-
real talk.
Hang out.
I'm worried about that as I get older because I don't think I'm ever gonna be annoying. I think a little annoying as a dad might be good because
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like you don't want your dad just enabling everything you do, and I just feel like you want that voice in your head.
It's-
Yeah.
So
You
it's
know
not
what I'm
about
saying?
enabling, right? I feel like it's about boundaries, right?
Facts.
And I don't feel like Ernie has boundaries. Like,
I don't think that's a bad thing either. I don't think I'm gonna have boundaries with my daughter. I'm gonna keep it G
And
with you right now.
but
G
think-
real.
But I think you should. I think you should have boundaries. I think in any relationship you
Yeah.
should have boundaries. And I
It's
think
hard,
Like I
though.
guess we talk about specifics, right? I'm sorry.
But this is my thing.
I'm
So-
gonna have boundaries,
so
but
I,
yeah.
I think that we all should have boundaries in any relationship because at the end of the day, I feel like it comes to a point when a child is no longer a child and they'll look at you as just another person, right?
Facts.
So
Yeah.
it's like, does this person, even though this person is my parent, right? They're still a person. Does this person respect me enough to respect certain boundaries of mine? So I feel
Right.
like we have to be cognizant of the boundaries of our children. You know
And
what I
I'll
mean?
tell you,
Like the
this
boundaries they
nigga,
set.
this nigga
Right.
just, first of all, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt. This nigga's pointing with his hand and said cognizant. And I'm like, you sounding real 20th, what century we in? 20th
Well, you
century
know
right
what?
now?
Well, let me
like,
just tell you
did you
this.
grow up like that?
It's
What you talking about,
I
nigga?
did, but and that's the thing, right? And I'm
we
gonna-
Cognizant.
gotta be very.
So let me switch my point. I'm gonna switch my point from this to this. I
Mark
feel like
the-
this.
yeah,
this
you gotta
is-
do it like this. You better stop with this shit.
This is how this shit works. So, I didn't grow up like that. Like,
Yeah.
like growing up, like my family is Jamaican. I
Yeah,
grew up in Jamaica with my
yeah.
grandmother. The shit was speak when you're smoking to answer when you call.
Simple.
I feel like
Simple.
that's like the word. Like what? Like, I can't speak unless somebody says.
Yeah.
something.
No, look, the reason I say that, is because I do feel like there gotta be boundaries, of course. But I want you to know I'm standing on dad lane. I'm not your
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
And
That's a
I
fact.
want you to care about me. And as a dad, know that I love you so much. Everything I say is what I think is best for you.
Right.
You don't gotta follow. I don't want you to be a follower.
Right.
So you can speak your mind to me, but I'm gonna stand on my ground with it.
But at the end of the day,
You know what I mean?
what Dad says goes. I think.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it
saying?
should. I think
Until they
should.
get to
It
it, until
might,
they get
it
to
might not.
Until they get to a certain age, like you always got to be that parent. Like we
Yeah.
can be friends later.
Later,
but right
that's
now
what I'm
we
saying.
not
Once you're an
friends.
adult and you know some things,
Yeah, we can have conversations about what you don't want to do and what you do want to do.
listen,
But no,
I work with
I
kids
know what's
now.
best.
You talk to a kid, they think they know what they talking about. They
They
really
really do. They really
They
do.
think they know exactly what I'm like. Nigga, you don't know what you talking
you
about,
don't know
bro.
shit.
Alright,
You don't
so-
know your ass from your elbow.
Not to cut y'all off. Let's just change lanes a little
Yeah, yeah.
bit. Marv,
Alright.
you got the dad on the street clip?
Oh, forgot about that on the street.
All right, so
Alright, let's run through this.
we're gonna take it to our dads on the street.
Yo, it's Woo, Dad AF show with the dads on the streets connecting the dots. Follow me, I'm dad as fuck, I think I know the way.
Eddie, and we're gonna ask you some quick questions real quick, all right? How would you feel if your child, how many kids do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
I just have one daughter.
Okay, how would you feel if she dated outside her race?
I always tell my daughter, I joke around. I'm like, I feel sorry for the first homie that you bring to the house because, first of all, you got 8 uncles, all right? Half them cats in the hood still. Some of them guys, but joking around for real. I wouldn't mind. Just bring somebody to me that has goals, that is going somewhere, that has a plan, and that got a good head on his shoulders. Cause me coming from the street and coming from where I came from, I can see everything that's coming. And I tell her the same thing. I tell him the same thing. Just bring somebody that has a plan and has goals for himself.
Shout out to my man Edwin, man, on MC4 Live.
But I gotta point out a
Hey,
couple of
uncles.
things. Did y'all see the hesitation when he first was gonna answer? He was gonna say, he's like, I don't know.
no.
Then I don't know.
You think he turned the corner?
Yeah, he turned the corner.
Turned the corner.
So first of all, what do you think of his response? Let's keep it short.
Yeah, I think I think he gave the good dad answer. I think he gave
Yeah,
the
that's a
great
good
dad
dad
answer.
answer.
I could tell that he had feelings, but he said, as a dad, I'm gonna love what you love,
T.
and I want something good for you.
Yeah.
Teak, what you thought of his response?
Yeah, I like this response. That definitely touched the nerve. You see, he thought about it for a minute. He said, "Hey, you got 8 uncles. Don't bring no knuckleheads up in this motherfucker."
Yeah,
that was definitely a diplomatic dad.
Shout
answer.
out to my
Yeah.
man Edwin. Shout out to my man Edwin.
Yeah.
So now I want to throw the question around the room. You know what I mean? Start with I guess I want to start with you, Teak. How would you feel if your child was to come home with someone outside of their race?
I tell you like this: if they can't use your comb, don't bring them home.
Damn!
Can I get some snaps in the room?
Cut and print. We're gonna use this as blackmail footage. I don't care what he says after this. We're using that one.
You heard the bomb. First of all, you didn't see the rapid fire. He said he Malcolm. Tan down.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm blackly black, but no,
I'm black.
I'm black, y'all. But now, for
I'm black, y'all.
remember that from CV4?
I know that. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, and I'm
black, y'all.
Let's go.
These niggas never again, y'all. I'm sorry.
Niggas about to start singing Neo Soul in here.
All right, but in all seriousness, whomever, whatever. As long as she is being taken care of, if she's happy,
Yeah.
I'm happy for her. As long as the love is being served, whatever. I mean, I have my preferences,
Yeah.
but as long as the love is being served, I want her to be happy. So whatever.
As far as preferences, I don't even think you just dropped the P word.
Now that you said it.
P-word.
Now that you said it.
So as far as preferences, what do you mean by that? Like you have your preferences. Like what would be your preference?
He said it, nigga.
What's that?
Somebody black.
That could use your
Somebody-
comb.
somebody
Somebody
black.
that's blacker than black.
Somebody who's black and is like,
And proud.
and proud. Like somebody is like
let-
real,
let.
like me and her mom. Like we stupid black.
So
Yeah.
outside of your race and successful, a black and proud and a bum.
Mhm.
Where you going? What you doing?
You said what?
Outside of your race,
Those,
but
yeah.
like has goals.
Anything
and
else,
it's
yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Or super down with the culture, but it's like, lost, had no direction. What do you choose?
Yeah, that's not gonna work either if you don't have no direction. You
So
know,
what do
because
you-
what my daughter's supposed to come in there and like, you know, be
Save you.
like your sex mom or something.
But
like-
I'm saying, so what are you going with? Like, you will go with the person out who doesn't relate to your culture but has some direction.
I'm
I get what
gonna go.
you're saying.
I'm gonna go with the person that cares for my daughter the most.
Yeah.
Great
So I
answer.
mean, if you with some nigga who really don't really know what's going on,
Yeah.
but he really love you.
That was the answer. that was the
a
answer
good
I was
answer.
fishing
Yes.
for.
That was good.
Yeah. So whoever love him.
If he has to
Yeah.
make
Guys,
that choice. What
Yeah,
about
if
you?
I got to.
call off the blackmail tapes. The nigga answered it right. Yeah. What about with me?
Yeah.
All right, so it's different for me. Like I have a, I have a boy and another boy on the way. Knock on wood. You know what I mean? I got 2 boys. So, honestly, man, I just want them to bring home somebody who is in tune with them and their struggles, and you know what I mean. Like you don't necessarily have to like relate, but I just need you to be mindful.
Mindful's a great word.
Of the struggles.
Good SAT
of,
word.
You think so? It's only
Not
2
SAT. I'm
syllables.
joking, but it's a good word to have in your, you know what I mean,
Nah, but-
your arsenal.
No, but seriously, I just feel like you got to be mindful of like the everyday struggles of black and you know what I
Yeah.
mean, brown people or like just minorities in general, whatever minority group you come from. Like I just feel like whoever you bring home, they have to be aware of that, and they can't try to minimize who you are and your struggles based on their experiences in this world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, is that person that person? If they're not, then they're not. And honestly, like some black people ain't even motherfucking
That's
really
true.
able to
That's
so
identify.
I
All
that.
your kinfolk ain't your
Yeah,
kinfolk.
that's a
Right,
fact.
right.
I just want to redirect a little
This
bit.
nigga got
I
mad
wanna
fucking
listen. He
That
got
was
the
from that was
bars.
Darnell Hurston. That was me.
You about to print up some t-shirts for me, motherfucker.
And he's humble because he's giving the quotes
Nigga
out.
about to be on
He's
t-shirt
Humble.
duty and shit.
But no, but I just want to redirect a little bit because it's really asking how would you feel. I just want to hear your thought process. How would you feel if your son came home with a white girl or any other race, Asian girl, whatever? Like this, what's the feeling?
He brought her home to keep or brought her home to sleep?
We talking about Keith. We talking about Keith. We talking about it's a difference. Listen, that's a difference. It's a difference. But we talking about Keith.
Keeper.
Honestly,
Love her.
you know the crazy thing is like that's such a tough question for me because I don't have a problem with people, right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't judge who he brings home. I would more so as a dad, I would judge the family that she comes from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
No, I
her
feel
race
that.
necessarily wouldn't matter to me. Her heritage does.
So basically, you wouldn't feel any way about it.
It depends on where her lineage. Like, who do you come from?
Nigga
Like,
said
what?
lineage.
Yeah, it's real shit though.
I get what
Like,
you're saying.
who the fuck you come
Coming
from?
from,
Like,
yeah.
like, what are these people about? You know what I
Right,
mean? Because
right.
these people shaped who you just brought into my
But
motherfucking
listen,
door.
I'm gonna
Share
take
your
it. I'm gonna
family
take it.
name.
I'm gonna take
Right.
it straight podcast like in a bubble. You don't know none of that. How you feel when you see it? When he walk in the yo dad, you know we just got engaged. Me and I'm not gonna say nothing. It's to say crazy. It sounds crazy. I'll say Becky because that's
Becky.
everybody's been doing that. So Beyonce did it.
If
So
we
I
gonna
can say
keep
it.
it in the
He come
bubble,
home, yo. Me
nigga.
and Becky just got engaged. What's up, Daddy?
And that's the first time I ever heard of Becky.
Yeah, first time you met her.
It don't matter what the fuck the bitch look like. You know, not to drop the B-bone. Sorry. I just said I feel disrespected. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
How
you
we just
just
finding
met.
out about this?
How-
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
a whole nother thing. But
Yeah.
as far like if the question is just about race in
How
and
you
of
feel?
itself,
You just see her. How you feel?
I feel like you don't want nobody like your mother.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. You don't want nobody like your grandmother. Like
Yeah.
that's how I feel.
That's how
I'm
you
not,
would feel. Not
I'm
saying that's it.
You're right. I'm not saying there's nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with dating outside of your
Yeah, at
race,
all.
right? Because I've allegedly, you know what I mean? Like,
Because I allegedly.
you know what I mean? So I don't think there's nothing. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean?
Allegedly.
Hopefully, I equip my children with the tools
Yeah.
to be able to come to me and we could kind of hash that out and say, hey, like, what are you into? Like,
Yeah.
and is it a thing of like you not like thinking what you come from is great, so
Right.
you don't want to be a part of that, you don't want to carry that along
Yeah.
throughout future generations?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
It's just
Right.
like a thing of like, you know what I mean? Like I love
It's pride,
and
self-pride.
that's, yeah.
Yeah.
So I you know what I mean? It's
If
hard
you-
to just take
yeah.
that question at face value
Yeah,
like
of
that.
course, of course.
You know, but
Complicated.
overall, like I feel like love is love. Like you bring home
You
who
ain't kicking them out.
Nah, hell
You're
no.
not doing
I don't
that.
give a
You're
fuck
not
what
doing
my
that.
son
Yeah.
do. I don't care if he is Timothy McVeigh. Nigga,
Exactly.
come sit in this attic.
Lock your ass up.
Lock the door. You can't have this key. I got the key.
Wait for the ghetto birds to go away. How about you? Like, what's up with
Listen,
you?
how I would feel, I mean, you said it, you hit it on the nose. Like, I would just feel like, I would feel a little disappointed, not disappointed. Yeah,
This nigga racist.
disappointed on myself
Black
and
people can't be
myself.
This nigga
Can't be
racist.
Black
racist.
people
Cut
can't be
that out.
This nigga racist.
We can't be
That's
racist.
a fact.
And I wish you argue with me about that.
I'm not
But,
arguing because
no,
I
not
already
you.
know.
I'm talking to them.
Shit. That's a whole
Talking
nother
to
show.
them. Yeah. No, but
They don't
like
want
I
the
said,
smoke.
I would feel like I didn't set the proper example. That's
Yeah.
how I would feel. I have a daughter, so
Yeah.
I would want you to date, want to be attracted to and date, and want to be with a man like your dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm this color.
So so you feel like the whole notion of like opposites attracting is like some bullshit? Like
I think opposites are interesting. I think the unknown is interesting. So I guess technically you will be attracted to it to see what it's about.
I guess.
But I think you would be inquisitive, curious. But I don't think that is a long-standing thing. It's like,
what's your take on that? Opposites attract, like, is that?
I don't know. I don't
Hold
think.
on, I'm sorry, I gotta finish this. It does to me. I'm saying no because it's like you if you know something, this is what you know. This is what you're about. This is as closest to you. What I feel close to, I would be more attracted to. But go ahead.
Yeah. I think this idea of opposites attract is just simplifying something that's really oversimplifying
Way
something that's
more-
more
yeah,
complicated.
exactly.
And I don't think it's necessarily like a binary kind of thing or just opposite or the same. I think that's
See,
just.
when a nigga start hitting you with the motherfucking
See, I did that.
with the Rain Man fingers,
Trying to put all these thoughts together.
Yeah, he said binary, culinary, trinary. Said all that. Said all those words.
Yeah, because there's a spectrum.
It's a
Come on, keep
spectrum.
it going. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I
Places
love
that
it.
people can find, like, how they love each other and what makes them. Because, this, like you said before, there's a lot of black people who really ain't on it.
Yeah, facts, yeah.
Me personally,
Which is might
I've
be more
never,
dangerous.
I've never dated a white woman before. That's not my thing.
Yeah.
But there's also been black women who, when it comes as far as me, as far as a public intellectual and as a race man,
hurts more.
You know what I'm saying? Who just not on it.
Yeah.
And I
That's
met
worse.
brothers who's just like, I can't really like kick it with you
Yeah.
because like you on some coon shit.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just, I think it's just one of those things. And I
Yeah.
have, I don't have a lot of white friends, but the ones that I do are definitely on the level, have definitely done their work, and
Mm-hmm.
some of them have a better understanding of like the complications around and the complexities of
Yeah.
race that some black people do.
Because
You know
they're
what I'm
watching
saying?
it from the outside, they're able to
Facts.
really, their emotions are removed
Yeah,
from it too, so
yeah,
they
yeah.
can really see what's going on. They
Yeah.
can interpret things.
So I
Yeah.
think
more
that's what it
cleanly.
comes down
Can't
to.
fuck with.
So that's what it comes down to. Whoever you bring home, if they're outside of this race, I feel like they need to be able to check their privilege at the door.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And be able to really,
Definitely.
even if you can't. I don't want you to sympathize, and I understand that you might never be able to empathize, right?
Yeah.
But I need you to fucking recognize what the fuck is going
Recognize
on.
Don't empathize, sympathize, but recognize, motherfucker.
That's a fact. I need Samuel Jackson to come through and say that. Give me a drop.
That's a fact. Yeah, look. Yeah, you want to?
For this last section, man, y'all know how we do every episode.
yeah.
So we got and this is super impromptu for you.
All right.
So we got the section we call
Y'all gotta stop.
it.
Y'all gotta stop.
Okay,
Y'all gotta
all right,
stop. So
Y'all and words,
we just
ninjas.
really want to focus on dads and shit that dads gotta stop motherfucking doing, right?
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
For the
All right.
betterment of all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lead it off. My thing is y'all gotta stop. Niggas. No. But also, what's the real shit, y'all? And this is not race specific, like dads in general, man. I just feel like y'all gotta stop using the term babysitting.
Mm-hmm.
When y'all with your own fucking kid,
Yeah,
like,
you gotta stop that shit.
like you
Definitely gotta stop
you
that shit.
niggas is babysitting.
You fathering something. Come on with another word.
come
I'm chilling,
on.
but I'm
Like-
just doing what I'm doing.
So we're gonna substitute this whole babysitting word. If you're a dad and you're watching your own child, you're on daddy duty.
Daddy duty.
Yeah, daddy duty. That's all I
Daddy
said. Daddy
duty.
I'm dadding.
Now I mean,
Dadding, right.
it's like the same amount of syllables.
Yeah.
Daddy duty, babysitting. It's the same amount of.
That's a
You're not
fact.
taking up no more oxygen than you would normally. So let's just get to it.
For.
You on daddy
Yeah.
duty. You're not babysitting your own child. That shit is disrespectful in so many ways, and
Yeah.
it's honestly you what's the word? Depreciating. That's the
Yeah.
word, right?
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
motherfucking
yeah.
word.
Depreciate is a
You're
word. Yes, it is.
depreciating your own value as a dad
Yeah.
and as a father.
Exactly.
So we no longer, from this day forth, I declare
I declare
that us dads, we no longer babysit our own kids. And y'all niggas gotta stop it. Y'all gotta stop it. Y'all gotta stop it.
I like that one.
What's up?
I mean,
Mr. Rich,
I got like two on my mind. I'm
just
right
give
in
me
the
one.
middle.
Save the other one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
look, I want dads to like stop acting like they Prince and they child is Prince's child, where you're covering the face. You don't want to show the baby. If you're not gonna show the baby, just don't show the baby. Like if you don't want to show I respect that. Cool. You're not into that. Whatever. Just don't show the baby. Why take a picture of the baby and then
And blur
put
the
like a
face
sticker on the face, an emoji on the face?
Just
we
don't show the baby. You
just don't
doing
show
too
the
much.
baby. And I'm taking a step further. Why do you think you that important? That niggas care. Well.
No, you ignore him.
Why you?
Ignore him.
You know
Ignore
we're
him.
recording, right?
Ignore him. Ignore
This
him.
nigga-
Ignore him. Keep going.
Nigga, I have hijacked this, and you have 5 minutes to get out of the studio. Well, anyway,
But keep
yeah, I'm
going,
sorry.
man.
Yeah, oh, he threw me wild off at that. Yeah, why you
nobody-
covering the baby? Like, why you covering the baby's face? I think you think you're too cool.
Yes,
I don't-
posturing.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like just don't show the baby.
Yeah.
What you doing? You showing everybody that you don't want to show your kids.
Yeah,
Nigga, I don't want to see a fucking kid. How about that?
I don't give a
don't
goddamn
give a goddamn
about
about that
your
baby.
So
kid.
my thing is more importantly, it's not necessarily
Stupid.
it's not necessarily that nobody cares, right?
No, I don't
It's
care.
no, it's not that nobody cares. It's really that nobody cares.
It's not that nobody cares. It's not that nobody cares. Nobody cares.
It might be a distinction without a difference, but it's a big difference. It's a lot more O's. It's a lot more O's. You know what I mean? Like that many people don't care about what your child looks like. You should care what your child
You
looks
should
like.
care.
Yeah.
And either post it or don't. But nobody cares. Teak, I know you on the spot, man.
Yeah.
Do you have
You got
anything that you
something?
feel like
Oh, they gotta stop doing. What's the tagline? What's it?
Y'all gotta
Y'all gotta
stop.
stop.
Okay,
Y'all gotta
okay.
stop. So real quick, y'all gotta stop covering y'all baby faces when
On-
y'all put
on these
pictures up on
pictures.
social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all gotta stop bullying your kids and calling that shit discipline. Right? 'Cause I've seen that shit too
Talk
many
about
times.
it.
When y'all seen fathers up there giving their sons the George Jefferson haircut and sitting in the fucking school, you bullying that kid, man. You're gonna make an asshole of your child to do that. Or you got daughters. I seen the one guy was calling his daughter a little thought on her
Yeah,
thing.
I
She
would
a little
never.
thought, and
Well, then
but
again-
all these little boys
Yeah.
need to stop calling her because she had all of that, and then grabbed her face and made her put her face in the camera. Like, don't bully
yeah.
your fucking
That's
kids.
So
crazy.
do you think it's
shit
wrong
is
to do it
wrong.
or wrong to do it and post
It's
it?
wrong. It's wrong to do it. It's wrong
Yeah.
to do it. Period. Don't, because the kids. The greatest lessons our kids learn is they learn from us. So if you're teaching them that bullying is how you resolve problems, you know what I'm saying, by humiliating them, then that's how they're going to learn how to solve their problems. So don't give your kid a fucked up haircut, send them to school looking crazy, right? Don't call your daughter's little hoes and little thoughts on social media or to her face or try to humiliate her in front of her little friends. Fine, like do better.
I'm on
Do
the
fucking
better.
better.
Fence, but I'm gonna
Dope.
just beat that ass then because
Yeah.
if you ain't listening, I'm beating that ass.
So I think that's dope because I think it's really like a generational thing, right?
Yeah.
I feel like all adults are still essentially kind of like children, right? So
Yeah.
it's like you kind of perpetuate what was taught to you as a child.
Yeah.
So I think the bigger idea behind what you're saying is that we should kind of break that
Break that cycle.
generational hand me down
Yeah.
of just being like fucked up to your
Yeah,
children.
but I think it's really about love too, right? Like if I love you the way
not-
I'm
not
saying
about
I love you,
humiliation.
I would never be okay with
But this
doing
the
that.
thing, right?
Never.
But this is the thing, right? Like love gets perverted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like and people will instill in you that they love you because you know what I mean? They love
Yeah.
you, so
That's why they're doing this,
because they love you.
yeah.
Right.
So your
that ain't
interpretation
love.
of,
That's not
but you
love.
don't know that, right? Your
Yeah.
interpretation
Right.
of love is what was handed to you
Yeah.
as love.
Facts.
But I think that's what cause like the beating kids. Like I don't beat my daughter. I'll never beat her.
Yeah.
I would never. I don't raise hand or no spankings, no whoopings, none of that.
Yeah.
We don't do that. And I think that there's a way.
But you would never spank the whoop.
No, yes, I was. My mother.
No, he said his
Oh,
mother.
my father. My
fucked
mother.
you up.
My
His
mother
mom.
fucked me up. My mother would fuck me
Oh,
up.
whooping that
Yeah,
ass.
whooping that ass. She never whooped me for the same thing twice. I tell you that. I learned my motherfucking lesson. I do that shit again.
Thanks.
And I don't think like getting beat like traumatized me or fucked me up in any
Yeah.
way. But I just think that I just know better ways in which to
Right.
discipline and instill, instill like respect and fear and discipline into my child. My grandmother never raised a hand to me. She never had to. You know what I mean? Because it was just that's Medea. You don't fuck with her. Never, not once. You know. So there's ways to do that. So I don't think I could do that. Then that's some slave shit.
So beyond saying that there are ways to do that, right? Like you seem like a person who is super like emotionally in tune with yourself, like emotionally mature, like intellectually mature. Like what would be your advice? And I want everybody to answer that. Like for me personally, like my thing is like stop and think, like don't make an emotional decision, right? Because I kind of have like a temper and shit, and that's how I was raised. Like, you know what I mean? Like everybody around me was like kind of like hot-headed, like flying off the whip, like, you know what I mean? Like I had my older brother, like he would like beat me up, like we would fight, like that's so my thing is always like, and it's funny because we say this thing, it's like if you have like a discrepancy of like what is right or wrong, the way to solve it is to fight whoever wins. Their opinion is right, and it's super fun. You know what I mean? But
that's some Game of Thrones
right?
shit.
But this is from like having an older brother and shit. Like I'd be like, "Yo, the sky is blue." He'd be like, "Nah, this shit's red." And then like we fight, he beat me up. I'd be like, "Yo, that's
the power of the Black Panther will be taken away."
So it's like beyond like just being like, "Don't do that shit." Like my thing is stop and think. You know what I mean? Like, is there anything else that y'all would have to like that y'all can add to that, like? To kind of give a data direction and just like, yo, really just like
when it comes in terms of like discipline your kid without having
in that moment, in that moment. Like
my thing is, and T kind of mentioned it earlier, I really believe in leading with love. Like I think that disappointment factor is big. You know what I'm saying? I think, but you got to be present to even have that.
But my thing is people's idea of love is fucked up, right?
So I was gonna
gotta get that.
So how do you? So what I'm saying is, how do you overwrite that? How do you overwrite that coding in us as young black men that have this fucked up coding?
I'm gonna give you the simple.
Think that love is like aggression and love is like whooping your ass and you know what I mean, like spare the rod, spoil the child type shit. Like how do you kind of override that?
I think there's levels to it, and I think what you're asking is a complicated question because children go through different levels of progression, and they understand things differently at different ages. I want a simple answer
for a complicated question.
But what I'm saying is, I believe in structure, right? So I believe I'm gonna put you in the positions to give you the best opportunity to succeed. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna make bad decisions. I don't think there's any way to make sure they make the right decision. But I think in the moment, I'm gonna tap that arm that I'm gonna let you know that this is wrong and figure it out. So I'm gonna empower you to figure it out for yourself, and you can make a bad decision, but I'm gonna stand hard, rigid.
So your answer is structure.
Yeah.
And I think that's dope. Structure. All right, cool. Tiq, what's up?
I think, if there's any father who thinks that like love looks like aggression or, having to beat your kids or spare around spoil the child, it's because they haven't healed from their own shit. Yeah. So like, it's really about doing that internal work first.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Really finding a place where you can lead from compassion and love and still be able to, still like hold that line and still show your kid that you are the authority and that you are the disciplining factor.
So
there.
your thing
but there's a way to do that without having to be violent towards your child.
So your thing is reconciliation. Like you need to reconcile
in your own spirit or whoever, however you need to get people to be accountable or whatever kind of your healing looks like so you can move past this place. You gotta do that before you get
what I hear is like leading by example too. Like if you're compassionate, your child will be compassionate, and all those type of things.
And just being really consistent. That's the thing. When your kid always knows that you have a high expectation for them, and they always know that Daddy has these boundaries. These are the things that he said is wrong. These are things that he said is right. And I love my dad, and I don't want to. I don't want to disappoint them. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I might scare them a little bit. Because kid got to be I think a little scary. They got to be a little bit of a place where there's some authority there. You know what I'm saying? Just you being able to set up that kind of environment for them, so you ain't got to beat on them.
Yeah,
that's dope. And I really think that niggas just lay down the blueprint, right? So you have to reconcile your past.
Yeah,
you have to set structure. You have to
boundaries
and structure.
Yep.
And then you gotta really stop and think about what the fuck you're doing.
That's a fact.
So listen, you niggas got it here for free.
That is fuck. Gave you all the game. We just told you how to be the best dad you could be. If you follow what we just said, you would be a great dad. It's kind of that simple.
You'll be the Voltron.
Kind of that simple.
It's like the Voltron.
Cut the check. Send the check because we just gave the game for free. So.
Oh man! So once again, man, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Dad is Fuck.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Had a great time.
My man James Rich. And the one and only Tiq Milan, man.
Yeah, right now.
All right,
Hey, boss, hey.
Oh.
Follow me, I'm dead as fuck, I think I know the way.